Hello there, Rice students. It's Coach Halkirk. Wishing you a Happy New Year. I'm hoping that you are at home being very safe. So this week's challenge is going to use a lot of different skills. And remember, I'm always trying to make sure that you work on these skills so that you can try a lot of different activities when you get older. It's not always about sports. It's about being confident in our ability to do a lot of things in our life, take chances, okay, safe chances. And the more confidence we have, because we can do simple tasks like today, the more things you're going to want to try when you get older. Because the more active you are, the healthier you're going to be. So, this weekend, some of you might know, there's going to be some important games, some NFL playoff games. And you might say, I don't care about the NFL. I don't even like football. That's okay. You don't need to. But what you do need is the skills that we're going to use in this game are some of the same skills they use to play football or other sports. Now, there's a lot of different levels to this activity, all right? And you can do this activity inside or outside. If you're going to do it inside, I suggest you use a rolled up piece of paper as a ball, or you could take some socks, make them into a sock ball, or something that's soft so that when it's being moved around in this activity, it doesn't break anything important in the house. I don't want to get emails from your parents saying how upset they are because something really important got broken. If you want to do this outside, you can watch the whole video and then try it outside to replicate it. And I would suggest maybe if you're going to use paper, go a little bit closer if it's a really windy day. All right, so are you ready for the challenges? I hope you are. All right, get ready. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one other thing. You do need at least one basket for this activity. Any kind of basket you want, the bigger the better, to start off with for round one. All right, here you go. All right, for round one, all you need is one or two pieces of paper and a basket, and you're going to stand 8 to 10 feet away from it. Your goal is to see how many passes you can make to your receiver, the basket, in 60 seconds. So, like a baseball player or football player, you're going to hold the ball in your hand. You're going to make the letter L, okay? You're going to turn your body, you're going to step with the opposite foot, and then you're going to snap your wrist. But the only difference is your arc. All right? So you're going to, like I said, stand about 8 to 10 feet away, and you're going to give yourself 60 seconds to see how many times you can get the paper ball in the basket. Okay? After you throw both of them, you're going to get them. You're going to run back and do it again. All right? So your level one challenge is how many points can you score, meaning how many shots can you get in the basket in 60 seconds. Now, I suggest you doing at least 2 rounds of it to see if you improved. Or maybe even 3 rounds. The more practice you get, the better you're going to get. All right, good luck for level 1. Pause the video, and then come back for level 2. All right, great job, everybody, in level 1. Hopefully you're able to improve your score each time. And if you didn't, that's okay. That's why we always practice things. That's why we don't always win when we go to carnival games and things like that. Because if we always won, we'd never have any prizes left for anybody. So our level 2 challenge is the same thing with a little twist. So instead of one basket, you might see I have a bunch of items out here. Now, I'm not at home, but at home you can get some interesting things like a frying pan or a cooking bucket or cooking pan or other different types of buckets, all right? And you're gonna sort that close to each other. Now you can do it one of 2 ways. You can see how many shots you can make in any item within 60 seconds, or you can make a shot and bring the item back and see if you can get all the items. So I have 6 items down there. You could have more, you could have less. It's gonna be totally up to how you wanna do it. And once again, we're gonna work on our throwing skills. Okay, so remember, hand we hold it in, we're gonna make the letter L, we're gonna turn our body, step with their opposite foot, at the same time they snap our wrist. Okay? And see what items we can get in. Now, if you use a frying pan or other things, it might bounce out, so you can count that as good, meaning a good throw. All right, give yourself 60 seconds to see how many points you can score now in either level 1 part of this, in any bucket, or 60 seconds and see if you can get all the items that you've brought out to throwing. All right, you can pause the video. Great job, everybody. Hopefully you're able to score a lot of points and you've tried maybe even both levels. All right, so level 3. There's a position called the snapper in football. Center generally, but snapper if there's punts or field goals being attempted. But you're gonna play the role of the snapper, meaning you're gonna try to make a basket with your paper ball just like a snapper would in football. So a snapper looks just like this. They're gonna have their feet spread apart, they get the ball on the ground, they look between their legs, and then they put their head up to block because they're professionals. Well, in this activity, you can keep your head down, and your goal is to see if you can snap and get it into a bucket. Okay? Now, I got you one, I missed the other, that's okay. Now there's, once again, 2 ways of doing this. You're gonna give yourself 60 seconds to see how many points you can score as a snapper, or you give yourself 60 seconds to see if you can get all the same items you did in level 2. All right? And once again, I would suggest you do that a couple times and see what your highest score would be. So if you're gonna put your scores in the private comments for each level, you can just give me your highest score. So let's say in this level, you got 5, 12, 2. You would put 12. All right, pause the video, try the activity, and then get ready for level 4. All right, everybody, great job. Hopefully you were successful and you're able to improve all your scores. Now we're gonna go to level 4. This is gonna be a really tough level. This is going to involve kicking. So if you're doing this indoors, I would suggest definitely trying to use pieces of paper, maybe even set the sock ball. All right, and you know we've talked about how kicking we should never use our toes because we have no control over it. Well, with this activity, we're going to be like a punter. We're going to try to use the top of our foot by our toes, and we're going to try to get it in one of the items down there. Okay? So you're going to basically hold it, and you might have to practice it a couple times to drop it and see if you can kick it and get it into a bucket. You can see I went really wide, so I might have to adjust. Maybe even get a little bit closer. I missed again. All right, I finally got one in. So you can see it's even a challenge for myself. So if you're ready for level 4, give yourself 60 seconds to see how many points you can score in any of the items down there. All right, you can pause the video. All right, great job, everybody. Hopefully you're able to get high scores. Now we have level 5. So it's going to be a combination of kind of like level 2, except here's the difference. Instead of standing in one spot, you're going to kind of move around and try to make it in the basket. Just like a quarterback would have to run around trying to find an open receiver, except usually the receiver's also moving. So it's going to kind of look something like this. You go, if you could run around and see if you can make it in the buckets. I made it too. Now, that's going to be pretty challenging in itself. Give yourself 60 seconds. If you want to make it a little bit harder, see if you can play with somebody at home. You know, somebody that can be a guard, kind of near you, not too close, but not too close to the buckets too. okay, trying to make you miss. Maybe you got a little brother or sister, mom, dad, or somebody. All right, so once again, try this at least 3 rounds for 1 minute and tell me your score. All right, you can pause the video. All right, everybody, great job in today's skills. Once again, we worked on manipulative skills of throwing, overhand, underhand, even though it was through between our legs, and kicking, and throwing while moving, throwing while stationary. So those are a lot of great skills that you'll be able to use for a lot of different things. Sports, video games, and just general coordination. Now, I do have a bonus challenge for anybody who wants to do it, and you have to kind of, I would suggest doing this one outside. You can use paper balls, you can use a sock ball, you can use any kind of ball you want. I know some of you might want to use a football, okay? And what your challenge will be a 60-second throw and catch challenge. Now, I have dots, so if I was at home, I could use dots. If I did this and I have to do this with somebody, I can kind of spread them all out. If not, you can use pieces of paper or something. And your job is to call out a spot, have your partner run to that spot, and you're going to throw to them while they're running. So you're going to have to throw it in front of them. You know, when I was a young kid, I used to hear stories about a great NFL quarterback named Johnny Unitas who would spend time throwing a ball through a moving tire. It's kind of the same thing. So if you're up to the challenge, get a ball of any type and go outside and try it. All right, until next time, my friends, be safe, be happy, be well. Be active now and always. Bye.